friends, it's Miss Mays, and this week we are going to be talking about, you guessed it, point of view. Now, we've talked about point of view before, so you have a general idea what point of view is. We know that point of view is the perspective or viewpoint of the person telling the story. Well, friends, who tells the story? Yes, the narrator. So, point of view is the perspective or viewpoint of the narrator, the person telling the story. If a story is being told in first person, the narrator is a character, so they are part of the story. And keywords that you might see if a story is being told in first person are the pronouns I, me, my, us, and we. Yes, there are more. Mine, our, and ours. Those are all pronouns or keywords that you might see if a story is being told in first person where the narrator is a character. I repeat that. The narrator is a character in the story. Now, if the story is being told in second person, wait a minute, Miss Mays, we've never talked about second person. You're right, we haven't, but we are today. When a story is being told in second person, the narrator will address the reader. And the keywords or pronouns that the narrator will use are you, your, and yours. If the story is being told in third person, we know that the narrator is not. I repeat, the narrator is not a character in the story, and they are giving others thoughts or feelings. Now, third person can be third person omniscient. What does that mean? That means that the narrator is all-knowing, kind of like the wizard on The Wizard of Oz. The narrator knows the thoughts of every character in the story. If a story is being told by third person limited, the narrator is limited or restricted, and they only know the thoughts of one character in the story. And we know that if a story is being told in third person, the narrator is outside of the story. They are not part of the story. They are not a character in the story. So it can be told in third person omniscient, where the narrator is all-knowing, like the wizard on The Wizard of Oz, and the narrator knows the thoughts of every character in the story. If it's third person limited, think limited, restricted, the narrator only knows the thoughts of one character in the story. All right, friends, are you ready to apply what we know? I know I am. All right, ta-da! Oh, that's not the one I want. Ta-da! It's our task cards. So we are going to read paragraphs located on this task card, and we are going to be detectives, and we are going to be looking for those keywords or pronouns that help us identify whether the point of view is first person, second person, or third person. Are you guys ready? I know I am. All right, we're going to look at task card number 1. So you're going to be listening very closely, listening for those keywords or pronouns that would help us identify if this paragraph is being told in first person, second person, or third person. Are you guys ready? All right. My best friend and I wanted to start a business together. We wrote down a list of all the ways that we thought we could earn money. We thought about which ideas would require us to buy supplies in advance or which ideas would take a lot of time. We also asked our neighbors if there was anything that they would be willing to pay us to do. All right, friends, did you see any keywords or pronouns that would help us identify the point of view of this paragraph? Great job. Yes, my. So what is that keyword my or pronoun? What does that tell us? Yep, most likely it's first person. Okay. So my, I, we, are, we again. So yes, great job identifying the key words or pronouns that helped us to identify that this paragraph is written in what type of point of view. Yes, first person. Great job, guys. See, you can do it. All right, are you ready for task card number 2? Yes, we are. All right. And hopefully Miss Mays won't mess up when she's reading this, but thank you for being kind and flexible for when I do. We just keep going. All right. So we are going to look for pronouns or keywords to help us identify if this paragraph is being written in first person, third person, or second person. You guys ready? Lily peered through a small opening in the curtains. The audience was filling up quickly. It was going to be a full house tonight. She could see her parents and siblings sitting in the fifth row. All of a sudden, Lily felt butterflies in her stomach. It was the first time that she was going to sing in front of the entire school. I hope I remember the words, she thought. All right, so I did see some third person pronouns. Did you guys see those? Okay. Yes, that's right. Her. Good job. She, her. A person's name, because we know that in third person that the keywords or pronouns are he, she, him, her, his, them, their, they, and names of people. Great job, friends. Now you're saying, I did see the pronoun I, but we have to think, who is telling the story? Is the narrator a character in the story, or is the narrator outside of the story telling us the thoughts or feelings of someone else? That is correct. Not only did we identify third person keywords or pronouns, but we also know by reading and maybe even rereading that the narrator is not part of the story. So it is being told in third person. Great job, friends. I know this can be tricky, but you're doing amazing. All right, you ready for task card 3? Okay, put your detective hat on. Ivan laid in bed and listened to his stomach grumble. I wish I would have eaten my dinner, he whispered aloud to himself. Ivan had skipped eating dinner this evening because his mother had cooked broccoli, which was his least favorite food in the whole world. He hadn't even taken one bite of it during dinner. Now he was so hungry that he couldn't fall asleep. All right, friends, what keywords or pronouns do you see that will help us determine if this paragraph is being told in first person, second person, or third person? Great job. You see someone's name, Ivan. What else do you see? Pronoun his. Good job. Ivan's name again. His again. Great job. Perfect. So you're also saying, Miss Mays, I do see some first person pronouns. But again, we have to think. For it to be first person, it has to have keywords or pronouns that are first person pronouns. So first person, I, me, my, we, us, our, right? But the narrator is a character in the story describing his or own feelings, thoughts and feelings. If it's third person, the narrator is not part of the story. So they're outside of the story looking in. And they are giving others thoughts or feelings. Keywords are she, he, him, her, his, them, their, they, and names of people. And like you just said, we have third person pronouns, his, and he. We almost forgot those. Let's not forget those. Good job. We have he, his, and we have a name of the person. And as we're reading, and it's always good to go back and reread, we can tell that the narrator is not a character in the story. It's someone looking in, giving others thoughts or feelings. So this paragraph is being told in, yes, friends, third person. Great job. And it's okay when you're doing these task cards this week or when you're in class to go back and look at the anchor charts. Miss Mays and Miss Rubio and Miss Brown usually put anchor charts with these assignments. Go back and look at those. Go back. Use your resources. Pull in those anchor charts so that when you're applying what you know to the paragraph, you're applying it correctly and you're using what you know to identify the point of view. And it's always okay to go back and look again. We go back and look in our stories to find answers. You can go back to your anchor charts as well to help you when you're trying to identify point of view. Use those resources. All right. task card 4. You guys are doing great. Let me stop and give you a round of applause. Because really, this is hard, but you guys are rocking it. You're doing amazing. All right, are you ready for task card 4? I know I am. All right, if you build a fort, here's what you have to do. First, you have to find an open space where you can build your fort. Then you have to gather lots of chairs and blankets. Next, you have to place the chairs around the space where you plan to sit inside your fort. Finally, you must drape the blankets across the tops of the chairs so that all of the openings are covered. All right, friends. What do you notice about that paragraph? Did you see any first person or third person keywords or pronouns? What did we learn about second person? Let's go back to our anchor chart. Let's refer back to our anchor chart. Second person, the narrator will address the reader using the pronouns you, your, or yours. Did you see those pronouns in that paragraph? Yes, we did. Is the narrator addressing the reader? Are they telling us how to build a fort? Yes. So let's highlight those. You, your, you again, you. Did I get all of them? I think so. And if we go back and reread that, we can tell that the narrator is addressing the reader. They're telling you the steps to build a fort, how to build the fort. You're right, sequencing. So this paragraph is being told in, yes, second person. Great job, friends. All right, we have one more task card to do together. Are you guys ready? All right. Well, I see some dialogue in this paragraph because I can tell by the quotation marks. I wonder if that's going to affect how I determine if it's being told in first person, second person, or third person. All right, let's read and see. The other team always beats us, I said to my teammates. This time we're going to show them who the real champions are. This was our first game of the new soccer season, and I was convinced that our team would come out on top this year. We had practiced more than any other team during the off-season, and the results of our hard work were already showing. Did you see any pronouns that would help us figure out or identify what point of view this paragraph's being told in? Well, I didn't see you, your, or yours, and it's not the narrator addressing the reader, so I know it's not second person. So if I was testing, I would probably scribble that one out. Now, between first and third person, did you see any third person pronouns? How about first person keywords or pronouns? Remember, if you don't remember what those pronouns are, go back. Go back to your resources, okay? Until you have them memorized, go back and use those resources. So I saw some first person pronouns. You did too? Awesome. Let's highlight them. I, my. What else did you see, friends? We have I, my. There's I again. I was convinced. Oh, R. Good catch, guys. And R again. So, what point of view is this paragraph being told in? Yes, friends, you are correct. It is first person. The narrator or character is part of the story. They are describing their feelings, their thoughts and feelings, and we see those key words or pronouns, I, my, R, and R. Great job, friends. I know this might seem hard, but you guys did an amazing job. And remember, the more we practice, the better we get. And making mistakes is just part of learning. Even on this video, I'm sure Miss May's made a couple of mistakes. But that's part of learning. So great job today. I'm so super proud of you. I know that when you get into the classroom and you're talking about point of view, you're going to do an awesome job identifying the point of view of the story that you're reading, or maybe the paragraph that your teacher has assigned you. When you're on Google Classroom, you're going to do a great job identifying the point of view on those task cards that Miss May's put on there. let's go back over our anchor chart one more time. And again, this is a great resource. Until you have this stuff memorized or until you are feeling secure or confident in your ability, go back and use your resources. So, point of view. It's the perspective or viewpoint of the person telling the story. And we know the person telling the story is the narrator. Great job, friends. If it's being told in first person, the narrator is a character, so they are part of the story. And you might see keywords or pronouns such as I, me, my, us, we, mine, our, ours. Great job. If it's second person, the narrator will address the reader, and the keywords or pronouns that you will see are you, your, and yours. Great job. And if it's third person, you're like, oh, third person. Third person it's not that hard. Let's go over it again. I want to give you confidence that you can identify first, second, and third person. So third person, the narrator is not part of the story. They are outside looking in, and they are giving others thoughts or feelings. If it's third person omniscient, they are all knowing. They know the thoughts of every single character. So it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. If you've ever seen that, the wizard in the Wizard of Oz is all knowing, right? That's what they say. So third person omniscient. The narrator knows all the character's thoughts, okay? If it's third person limited, think limited, restricted. They don't have access. So if it's third person limited, they only know the thoughts of one character. And when it's third person, we know those key words that we're going to see are he, she. Let's go over to this one. Him, his, her, they, their, them, and the names of people. And sometimes you have to reread a story or a paragraph to determine whether it's third or first when you have both first and third pronouns. But remember the important thing. If it's first person, the narrator is a character, so they are part of that story. If it's third person, the narrator is not part of the story. They are outside looking in, and they are giving others thoughts and feelings. First person, they're a character in the story, and they're describing their own thoughts or feelings. All right, friends, you're going to do an amazing job this week. I'm so super proud of you. Kiss your brain.